Now, it may have felt good for Trump haters in the moment. Now, he wasn't the first president to be booed at a major sporting event. He probably won't be the last. But for millions of Americans happily living outside of the Beltway, the 15 or so seconds of disrespect merely confirmed what they already thought about this town. It's a place teeming with lawyers, with lobbyists, consultants, and journalists, and it was never going to treat Trump fairly. Now, the president surely knew the reception he'd received from the swamp denizens, but he went anyway to represent America at its greatest pastime. And the snarky cell phone videos that flew around Twitter last night stirred a backlash. The left is so caught up in their own seething hatred of the president that they don't even realize that to millions of Americans, it felt like they were booing them. And they relished it. If Trump was loved by the swamp, well, he wouldn't be delivering results for everyday Americans. A visceral anger toward the president, it seems to be the primary driving force behind much of what Democrats say and do. And it's affected and infected the entire 2020 field.
He is an open, avowed racist.
Yes, he is a white supremacist.
He's a man who cozies up to the white supremacists.
He's an idiot.
Wow, Joe. I didn't know an idiot could advance policies that would help create the strongest economy in the world. I didn't know an idiot could preside over rising wages and the near lowest unemployment on record. By the way, the S&P hit another record high today, the first time since July. If it was also easy to do, Joe, why couldn't the genius Barack Obama and you as his number two manage to do it?
If I had to name my greatest strength, I guess it would be my humility. Greatest weakness, it's possible that I'm a little too awesome.
Well, Democrats, of course, they cling to impeachment now because what the hell else are they going to bank on? I mean, the fact is, there's a lot of fretting and angst among Democrats about the next presidential election. Of course there's uncertainty. The frontrunner, Joe Biden, is literally putting people to sleep. According to the AP at a recent Iowa event, one elderly man sitting in the back of the room fell asleep as the former vice president shared his vision for America's future in unusually hushed tones for nearly 45 minutes without taking questions. Really? That's so surprising.
How can a parent feel good about raising a child in a neighborhood where the water's polluted because the pipes are made of wood or they've been in there since 1960?
Oh, we're back. Oh, sorry. That seemed like the perfect place for a little nap on the set. This is just pathetic. Now, the truth is, I'd be worried, too, if I were a Democrat, if the guy at the top of the polls couldn't even swing an endorsement from the man he served with for 8 years, the most revered Democrat on the planet.
Did he offer to endorse you?
I asked him not to. He said, okay. I think it's better. I think he thinks it's better for me. I have no doubt when I'm the nominee, he'll be out in the campaign trail for me.
Okay, at this point, you just feel sorry for him. I mean, Democrats are in just freak-out mode. Their plan B, Elizabeth Warren, is princess running scared after the New York Times took after the self-proclaimed anti-corporate crusader for representing big businesses in court. No wonder one Iowa Democrat official told the Associated Press, nobody knows what to do. They're all afraid. There's a lot of anxiety. You bet. Especially since the Trump campaign just announced its fundraising haul for the last quarter, a staggering $125 million. But this whole beating Trump thing was supposed to be a lot easier. I mean, even with the impeachment travesty, though, bubbling around him, the president is on the move. He took his message to the bluest of blue Chicago today, defying protesters' threats who warned him against coming. He stood for law enforcement who've been vilified by the left coast to the East Coast.
You risk your lives and you save countless others, people you don't know, people you've never met. You have no idea how much the people of this country love you and respect you.
It was a great event. We'll have more on it later. Uber lefty Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson wouldn't even meet with the president today. But again, Trump's doing important work on criminal justice reform, and he's supporting our men and women in blue. Yet the Democrats who talk a good game about bipartisanship don't give a rat's you-know-what about it. They don't want to give him the visual of even meeting. How pathetic for them. Now, if I were he, I'd spend more time in places like New York, New England, and on the West Coast. I'd show the people that the press is lying about him, that he's president of all the citizens of America and cares about each and every one of them. Lord knows California has suffered enough under supermajority Democrat leadership. People are fleeing high taxes, you have the homelessness issue, and now millions going without power during the threat of these horrible fires. And that brings us back to the World Series. Well, I was lucky enough to attend Game 4 with my son, and I thought about what I would say to him if we had been at last night's game when Trump and the booing happened. I think it would go something like this. You know when your little brother doesn't get his way or you beat him in a swim race? Well, they're just mad because they can't beat Trump. And that's the angle.